how that relates to the current situation is he was having some issues at work, and he was frustrated and wasn't working as much as he wanted to, and this guy was getting more hours, and et cetera, et cetera. And, you know, you could sense the frustration in his voice. Well, his mom starts calming her voice down. Pretty soon, by the end of the conversation, you know, he's like, okay, thanks, I'm cool. And it isn't so much what she said to him, it's how she said it.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So, and less words that's another thing that I'm a big proponent of is just less words. You know. But he's having his certain issues. My oldest is having his, you know, issues, and this is affecting all facets of our life. And some of these effects are going to be with us maybe forever. Who knows? Who knows? But again, if we bring it back to ourselves, if I can share with her what's going on with me,
right?
First of all, she soaks it up like a sponge. I don't know if I've only been married to one woman, but I don't know if all women are like that. But she really loves, you know, when I share and I can go deeper and really let her know what's going on inside of me.
Yeah. And you did ask permission that she's fine with you?
Always ask permission.
Yeah.
You know, I said, hey, can I use you for examples today? You know, I'm going to talk with Ina. And she says, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I always ask for permission to express my point of view with her too. Because there's many times, especially right now, where guys are fixers. Give us a list and we are on it. You know, check it off. You know, we're fixers, we're protectors. And that was a big thing for me. That was a big realization for me when I finally understood that if she's sharing with me, I'm quiet,
right,
and then I say, do you want my input?
Excellent.
And the kicker, if you will, is if she says no,
yeah,
I'm cool with that.
Right. That's a great place to be.
So I just, you know, sometimes they just need to vent, or I might need to vent too, you know, in a positive way.
Yeah.
Especially, you know, in light of what's going on right now.
Yeah.
But I always ask for permission if I can, and we do that with each other, and I think that's so important for a good, healthy relationship.
Monty and I have found the same thing. And again, I always ask permission. If I'm teaching a workshop or in therapy, I will use this as an example because it just helps to be hearing about somebody else.
Right.
And so we will ask, are you open to me sharing? And there's sometimes I'm not.
Okay.
I'm tired. I've just done a lot of, counseling of others, and I will say, I'm not open now. I can let you know when I need to get something to eat. I need to download my brain.
Right.
I'd be available. I'm fine in a couple of hours, or I'd be fine tomorrow. I need to sleep on it. So the more I'm aware of myself and what I need or what boundaries, it's not that I'm not open to it. I'm just not open to it now. And he'll do the same thing. I'll do the same thing. We will ask each other. And of course, there's those times when we've made mistakes and we don't. And then what happens with me is I realize that like a fire engine, an alarm has gone off. I call it my red flag. And I go from I'm okay with this and then to boom, explosion. And
Right.
I think it's really relative to what's been going on over these last 5 weeks. And my go-to is to say, I can't say another word. I need to go for a walk.
Right.
I need space and distance, and then I pray. I do not go in my head and make myself right and make him wrong. I can do that in a flash. Any of us can.
Sure.
But what I do is I know I need to walk. I need to release it, and I'm praying. Let me see the truth. What's my peace in this? How do I? And and just recently, I knew I was not capable of discussing it. I had to sleep on it. I had to wake up, and when we're unhappy with each other, we don't sleep together.
Right.
We don't contaminate the space. We allow each other to sleep in separate, comfortable bedrooms, and we made that agreement at the very beginning of our relationship.
Right.
We were not going to contaminate the bedrooms. That's a place where we make love and we change clothes.
Yeah.
We don't argue there. We don't discuss there.
Keep it sacred.
We keep it a sacred space.
Sure.
So sometimes knowing ourselves well enough and having the agreement, like you have with your wife, that we will ask for clarity, we will speak our truth. If I'm wrong, I'll apologize. You know, I have no problems. And even if it's just a mustard seed, that you know, maybe there's a lot of projection, except this piece is mine. I will own whatever piece is mine. And then it's up to my partner to own whatever is theirs.
Right.
And that way we're doing our own work with the intent of growing together and keeping together. You two have way more years under your belt of growing and learning this, and Monty and I have 17 years.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, so we're newlyweds compared to you guys.
I'm a big analogy guy. My therapist used to, you know, she would kind of make fun of me because things make sense if I can come up with a good analogy in my mind. And the analogy that I would use with Marianne that ties into that is, having grown up, you know, Dad was alcoholic.
Okay.
So I have a certain amount of experience, you know, dealing with issues like that. And but the analogy that I would use with Marianne is if we were discussing something, or and I would say, you know, I'm drunk in my story right now. And I said, if I can walk away for a little while and sober up, you know, we'll resume.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that I need that space. It's the same thing I think that you were talking about.
And I just want to be clear for those who are listening. You're not literally drinking. You're not the alcoholic, but because you were raised in a family where the father was alcoholic, that's an analogy that absolutely makes sense. And she knows exactly what you mean when you say, I'm drunk in my story right now.
Correct.
Yeah, that's great. I like that.
The reason I bring it up is because that she still references that periodically when we're talking about different situations. So I think it made an impact on her. She'll use that as an example, and it kind of strokes my ego a little bit, you know.
That's actually great. Cory, thank you so much for this sharing.
Wow,
my pleasure. I know that I've asked you to participate, you know, for like 4 videos, and who knows, maybe I can get you to come back to do more, maybe you and Marianne together.
Sure.
But I really appreciate your sharing, because I wanted the male voice to be heard.
Yeah.
And the wisdom that comes from a mature male voice.
Well, I appreciate that, and I knew the first time I talked to you at the coffee shop that we kind of had a connection, and I could go deep with you.
Yeah.
You know, so I really enjoy that.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was my pleasure. You're a sweetie.
Thank you.
Thank you.